The New York Knicks lose in heartbreaking fashion, 105-103 to the Houston Rockets after a questionable foul call against Jalen Brunson at the end of the game. We're here to talk about it with Brian Fonseca. Brian, let's get right into it. What did you make of that last play, at that foul call at the end of the game?
Yeah, you don't often see that called in that spot, in that situation. And really it was surprising because I thought that we were just gonna get the Jalen Brunson jumper over Dillon Brooks and then go into overtime. But the referees did call a foul, which, the guys will probably tell you you don't lose because of a foul call. Well, this one was a little tough because Aaron Holiday gets fouled very, very far from the basket. It was a 3-point shot that, just one of those heaves, and Jalen Brunson makes, this is the other thing, minimal contact, maybe?
Barely any contact.
Yeah, it's just not something you see called a lot. If it's a foul, then call the foul. But I didn't think in this instance is one where you could really blow the whistle there. But they did, and ultimately it decided the game in the end. Like there were some other things we could talk about early on. The Knicks' slow start may have cost them here. They did fight back, but the Rockets were able to execute. Dillon Brooks got hot late. There was a machination of different things, but that call is what a lot of people are going to be talking about tomorrow and what we're talking about right now because it's just not something you see all the time in that spot.
Yeah, real quick. Rockets, obviously, with the time winding down in the fourth quarter, game is tied. Precious Achiuwa appears to block the shot. It gets kicked out. Aaron Holiday gets the rebound, tosses up a one-handed half-court heave, and the refs call a foul. And you're watching this and you're going, wait, did they just really call that right there with minimal contact? It's an unreal call to make in that spot, especially against Jalen Brunson, who barely made contact. It's egregious on all accounts right there to call the game pretty much in that spot with point 0.5 seconds left.
I was expecting on the replay because I saw it in real time and I was like, okay, then they call the foul there. Then, wow, that's a bad call. And Jalen Brunson must have clotheslined Aaron Holiday or something along those lines, but it wasn't the case. And as somebody who watches and covers a lot of combat sports and also pro wrestling, um, thought that we'd see a lot more contact there, but it wasn't the case. I've probably seen more contact on Monday Night Raw at some point tonight. But hey, man, they called it, and that's a tough loss for the Knicks, who, I'm not going to say that they're at danger of sliding in the standings to a dramatic amount because they've built up a great record with their wins, but the injuries are starting to catch up to them in a way that's going to be damning in terms of their win-loss record, and we'll have to see what happens going forward because some teams in the East could potentially catch them if they lose these close games. Now, this one is not something that's going to be the norm necessarily, but they did get off to a slow start. They did feel worn down and tired. And again, the minutes distribution, you have guys exceeding 40 plus minutes, and Dante DiVincenzo was one of them. And he left the game with an injury, which is a hamstring injury, which is a wear and tear injury. They badly need to get to the All-Star break.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow up here, Brian. Is how much concern do you have for this Knicks team right now? To your point, DiVincenzo leads the game late in the fourth quarter. They got some great play from Bojan Bogdanovic, by the way, in the fourth quarter, hitting some big shots for them. Alec Burks had a big three at the end of the game as well, towards the end of the fourth quarter as well. But yeah, how much concern do you have for this Knicks team just trying to get to that all-star break? It feels like just to get healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's one game left. I can't say like I think their season is on the line, but there should be a fair bit of concern here because you're not getting Julius Randle back soon, even after the All-Star break is done. Same thing with OG Anunoby. What people have to remember is they're not back in 3 weeks. A reevaluation is coming in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They could actually be out for longer and probably will be out for longer than the 3 week period that was previously reported. We'll see what Isaiah Hartenstein, he was at least questionable, didn't end up playing, but it looks like he's going to play at least after the All-Star break, if not even Wednesday. We expect him to pop up on the injury report, maybe with a questionable tag again. Maybe he plays against Orlando Magic. Right now, understandings are okay. They're fourth in the Eastern Conference after this loss. We'll see what happens, and in terms of getting there, because I think home court matters or should matter to this team. And the Cavs went on a really big surge and are healthy now. The Celtics, obviously, they look like they're going to run away with the 1 seed, and the Milwaukee Bucks, they just beat the hell out of the Denver Nuggets tonight. So, we'll see. Those teams are going to be hard to catch and keep up with. I do think Philly is going to slide without Joel Embiid, who is right underneath the Knicks. And then
They
you
did
have,
beat the Cavs tonight.
yeah, that is true. But I do think they're going to slide. They at least should. Buddy Hield is helping them, though. So that's something that is very, very notable. And then you obviously have the Magic, the Pacers, and the Heat, who just lost Terry Rozier for a little bit, Josh Richardson for a little bit. I think one of those teams could potentially make a run. I don't think you fear any of them making a run except for the Heat if they have a winning streak in them, but they have their own injury things that they're dealing with. So I think the Knicks are okay right now, but the main thing is they need to get healthy. And in order to get healthy, I feel like the minutes distribution needs to be a little bit different, more balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does. Obviously, Jalen Brunson racked up a lot of minutes again tonight. DiVincenzo, that obviously got him out of the game. Precious Achiuwa is playing more minutes than he's used to right now. So there is concern right there. But next up, the Knicks got the Magic on Wednesday. But Brian, thank you so much for popping on for us a little bit, talking about this heartbreaking loss for the Knicks, 105-103 to the Rockets. Thank you, man.
On to Wednesday.